was far more grim. A merciless killer stalked all humanity, a killer that consumed its victims piece by piece, bit by bit, possibly for years at a time. They were taken without mercy, our young and old alike, left struggling for their last breath in the clutches of a deadly disease. It had many names: the White Plague, consumption, tuberculosis. No matter what you chose to call it, the plague always produced the same result: the sound of coughing, so hard that it could rip chunks of lung and crack ribs, followed by a soft, final gurgle. There was almost no stopping it, and it was never, ever forgiving. Even survivors would never be the same. Survival rates were in constant fluctuation and tended to be low. At its peak, Waverly was losing patients at the rate of more than one soul per hour. So many, in fact, that to avoid residents witnessing the constant flow of hearses, the torrential flow of corpses was sent down a seemingly endless tunnel stretching into the darkness, a tunnel that became known as the Body Chute. Drastic and desperate measures were tried in the search for a glimmer of hope that may lead to a cure. Tuberculosis can attack any organ in your body, including your brain. Consumption of the brain patients were left unstable, confused, not in control of their faculties. They had to be confined to a special ward on the top floor. For their own safety, the safety was never long-lasting. One room in what was known as the morgue wing carries a ghoulish legacy, for it was here that the patients were subjected to grisly electroshock therapy, restrained and convulsing under current, all in the name of healing. Last resort surgeries often left patients disfigured for life. Lung treatments forced patients to struggle for air with heavy weights upon their chest. Ribs were removed. Lungs were cut away piece by piece, surgery by surgery. Every treatment fathomable, every experiment possible, was tried and tried again. Hope dawned in the 1940s when they began testing a special antibiotic that became a lifesaver for many. Tuberculosis, in its earliest stages, had finally been stopped. By the beginning of the 1960s, the world no longer needed Waverly. As often happens, the most advanced had become the most obsolete. This by no means implies that nothing was left behind. Residents and staff alike in the failed nursing home that came after often complained of strange goings-on, fleeting shadows, strange sounds, cold and hot spots. They have never stopped. A host of apparitions are still seen regularly around the halls and grounds to this day. The nurse who found herself single and pregnant by a married doctor, later discovered outside room 502, hanged with the baby being in the well system. The man and his dog found murdered in the elevator shaft. The nurse going about her business with an IV in tow. The child's red ball that moves on its own. The maintenance man whose keys still tingle. The man with no eyes. All of these unfortunate events have laid the groundwork for the place to become known as the most haunted place on Earth. Today, there are those who choose to enter the dark hall and empty rooms, searching for something, anything beyond explanation. Many have reported horrifying sightings and sounds, or being touched, or wished, or even spoken to. Since you dare to enter, perhaps you'll see one of them. All of them. Or none of them. Perhaps tonight you will experience something new. Will you notice the permanent residents of Waverly Hills? And most importantly, will they take notice of you? What amazing experiences await you in the darkness? Careful what you wish for. Welcome to Waverly Hills.